Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Tainted Grail. And as the evening draws on apace and we recover from a crash the night before last, because last night was more dealing with Lady Dira in Evil Islands, and dear God, what a pain that was. I'm back here now. So let's head up to the old ramshackle run-down place where Our Lady waits for us and we carry her favours. In fact, multiple favours. She favours us greatly. Let's do her a favour because she wanted the back garden fixing up and we have some time to pass before nightfall. There we go, we've got ourselves a nice pond. Some raspberries are growing here. We've got a bit of a fence to make it harder for us to come down the cliff that way and get in. Hello, little buddy. You alright there? Yeah, you're loving it, aren't you? Maybe don't let you get in the pond. She might get upset if you go and put your muddy feet in there. Alright, how are we doing for time now? Not too bad. What's the plan? The plan is to try and hit level 25, which will not be easy. Do we have time to get back to the keep? And we have this lovely two-handed hammer. You know what? I want to just see if it looks different. Please have a different model. Oh yes, it has a different model, alright. Okay, lovely. So with that in mind, do we stay the night here? Yeah, you know what, it's getting kind of late, we probably should. Let's pop in and greet her. Now we have an unusual situation here. For Branwen has entered into a relationship with Lady Alyssa, and this is a late Dark Ages to early medieval approximately setting, and while the cultural values are not identical, it would be fairly reasonable to say that in this kind of culture with this kind of technology level, marriage is about three things, right? Oh, that's what I was going to get. I was going to say, you know, is gay marriage in this setting? Probably not, right? In this setting, marriage is probably about three things. Land ownership, having more children so the society can continue, and inheritance. Either inheriting things from the in-laws, or so that your spouse will inherit something from your family, or so your children will inherit something from you. Doesn't necessarily need to be the throne of the kingdom, it could be anything. But let's at least have a word with her before we head off to bed. Alyssa, I've restored the pond.
The pond is certainly a choice. Well, to be honest, I'm rather used to more ornamental pieces. But this is nice as well. Very quaint, very rustic, fitting. I only hope nothing lays eggs in there. Ugh.
Quirko, you're not going to go lay eggs in the nasty lady's pond, are you? No, I don't think you even can lay eggs. Well, I wouldn't be certain. Weird is as weird does. Let's go get some rest. So yeah, same-sex relationship. If this was like Greek or Roman, late Greek or Roman, decadent society, then same-sex relationship would be, more understandable. As it currently stands, they're probably just two strange ladies who live in a house far away from everyone else and just sort of keep to themselves and are very good friends. And if there's anything else going on, they probably don't talk about it because it's not a big deal. Not worth mentioning or shouting about or anything. It just is. It's a little unconventional, but there you are. Now, where do we want to go today? Well, I probably want to spend as long as possible restoring that place because it's my impression that finishing up the repairs here is the last of the content of Lady Alyssa, at least for a very long time. I don't know if she'll follow us into Act 2 or Act 3, or if she'll just stay back here and we'll have to occasionally come back and visit her. And if she'll get upset if we don't come back and visit her from time to time. I should probably head back to the Horns this episode. I have a little bit of a plan. It's not the most developed of plans. Oh, we have a new patch yesterday. Just lots of little fixes. Well, actually not that many, but little fixes all the same. They apparently fixed the permanent hit indicator bug. And a few other things. Oh, I see bad men, they shall die. Yes, that's a really obscure reference to an American Indian story in which two children are chased by the disembodied head of their living mother.
You're out of your depth.
Did I get him? I think so. Okay.
I will be your downfall.
Got him. Don't mind me, Quirko. Mummy's just busy killing bad guys. Yeah, I know the other mummy's got a nice house and we get to visit it. Don't lay eggs in the pool. As I said, I don't believe he can. I'm not sure he's the egg-laying sort, even though he hatched out of one. Who knows? Who knows what kind of weird beast little Quirko is? But he seems to have hatched from an egg found near the carcass of the questing beast. The questing beast itself. Or at least this world's version of it. And why do I have food selectors as a primary item to use? Right. I think Corpse Gatherer is back and waiting for us. Yeah. Oh, hello. There we go. Let's just get this lot back to the Horns. Do some trading. And make plans. I think we're going to finally deal with that skull we've been carrying around for a long time. Now, there's something odd about that quest due to the way it's been revised and changed. There's some sort of legacy content from an older version of the quest. So, to be clear, to progress the quest we need to speak to someone and make a decision. Afterwards, we can speak to other people about that decision as if we had not necessarily yet made it, And that's because originally that decision was not a final sort of decision in the quest. There were multiple stages to it, and I should probably just wait till it happens and then explain it. There we go. So this is the skull of the keeper who was murdered by a shrine to the Old Mother. And he wishes for us to return his skull to the Horns of the South and give it to one of his former companions. Now, you'll remember that his companion was one of the three, let's call them drinking buddies. You know, there's the man with one arm, the man with one leg, and the man with no tongue. And he wants to be returned to the one-legged man. Of the three, the man with no tongue is honestly the most forthright in his communication. The man with one leg and the man with one arm are both reticent to share. They are grumpy, gruff, holding something back, or just don't want to tell us about it. And it's only poor tongueless Finley who seems willing to shake his head or nod his head or shrug or occasionally point at things. You know, he has very basic communication skills, but he employs them more effectively than the other two do, in that he doesn't seem to be holding as much back. And it was he who directed us to the shrine where we found the ghost. Was it Tagdon, the ghost? No, Tagdon's the one with one arm, isn't he? But that's all. That's all gonna change soon. So, the original quest involved stages speaking to each of the three. Now we only need to speak to one of them, and then talking to the other two is optional, but the conversations we can have with them are sort of legacy conversations from the time when the quest was structured differently. So they make a little less sense now because we're having them after a certain decision has already been made. It's a little bit odd. Speaking of which, we're going to bring our quirky little odd companion back into the walls of, and he blinked at me with one big eye as I said it, back into the walls of the Horns of the South, and dump a load of stuff on Orla's stall and demand she give us money. Don't know what she does with all this crap, but it's really pretty inferior. It's not as if there's a passing foot trade. We can give her this, we have one in the stash. Look, it's dull, we'll let it go. And armor. Okay. Wow. There we go. Right. Let's go sell the rest to Osbrit, then head down to the beach. We'll probably want some more wood for the repairs.
It's nice to have a break.
Our home. I was going to say Lady Alyssa's place and then realised it's our place. She's invited us to stay permanently. Let's part with this and this. They are of good quality. And then we'll head down to the beach. So I want to limit my repairs at Lady Alyssa's to at least one a day, preferably slower. But we'll see how things go. That level is a long way away, and we have a lot of experience points to try and pile up. Because I would like to get one more level before I investigate what has been causing people nightmares around the Archspire. And that's because I want one more point of spirituality before I do. So let's see about reuniting this skull with an old friend. It's not far now, just a little walk down to the beach. We'll take the stairs instead of the slope. Here we are. And here he is, waiting for us, although he does not know it. Berg, I spoke with your friend Kendall.
Bloody hell. Not another ghost. Leave me alone. I swear if you don't leave me alone, I'll kill you.
Okay, we have a perception check, which we've only got like 4 perception, right? We can't hit that 7. Strength 8 required, can't do either of those. These would persuade him to tell us something which would make his next lines of dialogue make more sense. I've got Kendall's remains.
Take this away from me. Don't you know this kind of thing tends to bring bad luck? I don't want to see him again.
So if we had passed a perception check, he'd tell us how the ghost of Kendall has been haunting him. Recently. Again.
I went there one evening. Gods only know why. I could feel something odd. Like I had Kendall thrashing around in my head already, calling to me. I've never been a godly man, you know. One time I visited a shrine, and look what that got me. A ghost hovering over my head. I dug around a bit looking for Kendall's remains, and then I heard howling, got scared and ran away. At first, I thought it was a wild animal, or some weird beast. Thinking about it now, I guess it must have been Kendall. He was letting me know he was coming. Damn him.
You went there looking for his remains. I brought you his remains. What's the problem here?
All right, I went there, and Kendall didn't say a thing about a burial at sea. All he said was that he won't know peace until he takes me with him to the underworld. I may be old, but I don't want to go there yet. The idea terrifies me. Now I see what he's up to. He's using you to remind me of his threat.
Why would he want to kill you? It makes no sense. Or why would he haunt you and not the rest of your friends?
It's because he trusted me the most, and I was the one who let him down. When push came to shove, I blew it. Tagden was arguing for the bandits to only take Kendall, and I didn't make a peep. I still remember the way Kendall was looking at me when they were slitting his throat.
If we'd taken the other dialogue line, he would have said, you know, why is he coming after haunting... Well, he'd say, because we set him up. And that's important for the conversations that will follow. And you're the only one still feeling guilty about this.
I don't know. Tagden and Finley seem fine, but I've felt bone-crushing guilt ever since it happened. Wouldn't you be wondering if you could have done something more than just beg for mercy? Finley lost his tongue, Tagden his hand, and me. Now I'm an old hobbler missing a leg. We all have wounds to remind us of what happened until the day we die. And that's why we decided to never tell a soul. Please, take his remains away from here. Maybe say a good word about me to his ghost. My years of guilt must surely be enough penance.
So this is a big decision, right? We have all right. Everyone makes mistakes, or keep the skull. You deserve punishment for your betrayal. Now, after this decision, in the original quest, we would need to go back to Kendall's ghost, and he'd then tell us to come and help him haunt one of the other two, and we'd have to decide if they should be haunted or not, and then he'd tell us to come back and haunt the third one, and we'd have to decide if they had any remorse and should be haunted or not, and then go back to him one final time after we decided for each one of them. It was very lengthy and convoluted. And the conversations that we can now have with Finley and Tagdan about this situation are sort of hangovers from the time when the quest extended further and we would have to come back for them. Alright. Everyone makes mistakes. I think you've suffered enough. So now, we are supposed to go back to Kendall, but it will end the quest. So the quest is much shorter than it used to be, but we can also go and talk to Tagdan and Finley about it. So let's do that. And I'm not sure these conversations are particularly... So, Berg is remorseful. Finley, I can't remember, maybe a little bit. Tagdan, not remorseful at all. And you could decide independently who deserved to be haunted and who did not. Do you remember Kendall? He's nodding. I could lie and say Berg told me it was your fault. You turned the entire situation against Kendall. That requires 8 perception. It might sound odd, but Berg is haunted by his ghost. Oh, he knows already. He's nodding his head. Did you set Kendall up? Is that how he died? He's shrugging, then shaking his head. Were you fighting? He nods. If they were arguing, and maybe close to coming to blows, they're probably loud enough that the bandits could have come upon them. Kendall became your commander. Was it envy? Shaking his head. You didn't think he was fit to be your commander? Nodding his head. He used to be your friend, then he became your commander. Did Kendall change after that? Nods his head. Alright. Did Berg visit the shrine recently? He shrugs. Do you know why Kendall's ghost chose Berg? Shrugs again. Was he closer to Kendall? Definitely strong nod. Didn't bow his head before nodding this time. Were they in cahoots? Ah! Throws up his arms in disgust. Thank you, that's all. You've helped me a lot. He remains silent, because the brigand's cut his tongue out, and that's why he can't talk. Tagdan's an arsehole. We've already established that, but let's go talk to him about it anyway. I spoke with Berg. He told me about Kendall.
Berg told you about Kendall. Why the hell did he do that?
He's being haunted by Kendall's restless ghost. He feels guilty about what happened back then.
Guilty? He's got nothing to feel guilty about. There was nothing we could do. We were damn lucky they let us go. Any other day, we'd have ended up just like Kendall.
He's being haunted by Kendall's restless ghost.
What? By Kendall's what? You're telling me a ghost comes to him at night, knocking about and not letting him sleep? Shit! I sure wasn't expecting that. Hell, if you ask me, that entire thing was done and dusted long ago.
But not for Berg. Can you tell me anything more about what happened back then? Berg mentioned that you set Kendall up. That line's available even though I avoided that line of dialogue and didn't hear him say it directly. It looks like you weren't happy about Kendall becoming your commander. Let's go with this one. Now that is the most telling. Because he says, yeah, he turned into an arsehole when he became commander. It's not done for Berg. Can you tell me anything more about what happened back then?
Shit happened. That's all. Kendall got promoted to Lance Corporal. He was strutting about like a fancy lady in a new petticoat. One day, he said, "We've got a job to do. All 4 of us." We were ambushed. Berg cracked. Same with Finley. Me, I had to act. That's it. That's the story.
That's not quite the story the others say. Berg mentioned that you set Kendall up.
Listen, kid. You better stop talking out of your ass. You weren't there. And I was. And Berg, Finley too. I saved our lives.
It looks like you weren't happy about Kendall becoming your commander.
Wasn't about that. But about who deserved that promotion. I never thought it should have been me, mind you. Kendall was an arse licker. If the captain told him to shit himself, he'd have done it. Standing to attention. Berg deserved the promotion. He was strong as a horse, best at fighting, and first of us to come to the horns. The rest came a bit later, though we were all still kids. Anyway, Finley thought the same.
Seems like all of you are guilty of something. The same could happen to you. Is a strength check. You traded a friend's life for your own. It's not very honourable. It's a perception check. We'll go for strength check then.
The same. I don't go anywhere near that shrine. It better leave me alone. I don't know why Berg went there. He fessed up when we had a bit too much to drink. Now I think about it, that was when all this shit started happening. Berg brought it on himself. You don't go bothering the dead. You'll only draw evil to you. That bandit ambush, that was a plan they came up with to get rid of me and Finley.
Oh.
Kendall was paranoid. I knew that. Me and Finley, we heard them whispering together. That's why I goaded those thugs to kill the traitorous wimp.
What?
We never told Berg that we knew, because what was the point? The 3 of us took a serious beating, and Kendall was done for. He was the one who messed with Berg's head. That's it. It was just too bad that Berg was so guilt-stricken from it all. He never got the promotion he deserved. Now get out of my sight. I've had enough of this bullshit. Get moving, then.
Well, at least now we know why Berg is so guilty. Bloody hell. Tagged in as a different version of the story, it seems Kendall's didn't tell me the whole truth. Perhaps I should go back and speak to him again. Nothing for Finley. Maybe I change my mind and say you should keep the skull after all. Or perhaps this is the old long version. Ooh. The old long version I remember. I think we could possibly come back and talk to him before, and that would extend the quest. But now we just can't. Our decision has been made. Unfortunately. So, he's not just guilty that his friend died, but guilty that... Well, we don't know for certain that they were conspiring to kill the other 2. Come on. Here. Bit of rosemary. There we go. How are we doing for wood, for repairs to the... Oh yeah, we got enough. We got enough to fix it all. No worries. Although our questing will require more experience to level. I'm still holding off on the dream investigation and the madness. I want that sixth point of spirituality. One of the interesting patch notes is that apparently I was not the only person who had noticed that the healing spell I have was far more effective than it should be. And I know I had some healing received bonus, but I knew it shouldn't be that big. And the developers have patched it to match its description now. So it will be considerably less potent for me. Additionally, I want another point of endurance before tackling endurance, concentration, or concentration? Is that the... No, it's not. Damn it. Practicality. Endurance, practicality, or strength after the point of spirituality. Before tackling Sir Abigor. Because currently we are not quite capable of... Wait. Didn't we have something? Oh! Boots. Right. That's something to do before leaving the Horns. Let's get our boots of bearing of burden on the go. Because we have a special armor relic. Ah, not upgrade. Armor, boots, add a slot, and add the Gem of Carrying to increase our total load to 205, which will also take us up to 26.2 armor. Unfortunately, equipping a cloak would take us to 26.3. Actually, depends which cloak. Yeah, good point. But we want the Keeper's Cape equipped at the moment. That is one of our nicest options. Oh, you know what else? I think I will upgrade our two-handed hammer to +2. It's not the same +3 to be in line with the rest of our gear because I'm trying to replace it with another suitable two-handed weapon. And admittedly, now that it's +2, that makes an upgrade even less likely. And ow! Ow. Just cracked my knuckles on the edge of the table. Right. I think we have a special two-handed hammer to go and put in the stash. Ooh, it's getting late. We do want to take the skull back. I think we're going to go sleep at Lady Alyssa's again. Oh, we've put the hammer away already. Excellent. And why not? She's invited us to stay, and I think we should. It's our home now, after all. This is our base of operations, which is different to home. This is the place where we work, that is the place where we reside. And it may very well start getting weird before we get there. So let's kick up some dust with our boot heels and leg it. We don't want to get too overburdened. We just want to make it through the graveyard in one piece. I hope her ladyship appreciates the troubles we're going through to visit her like this, with all the dangerous monsters outside. She'll probably see the dents and scratches in our armor from time to time. Would be nice to upgrade to some fancier looking armor at some point that gave a bit better coverage, although an open-faced helm would be much more in keeping. You know, let the enemy look into our eyes as they die. The human face is capable of conveying a number of emotions, including terrifying ones, you know, expressions to scare and intimidate the enemy, which a blank, faceless helmet just doesn't do. Now, there's an argument for the faceless foe, the lack of emotion being equally terrifying, but I'm not quite sure it is. Let's hurry along inside before it gets really nasty. There's still plenty of things to do here, and there we go. Let's get inside, and not a moment too soon. Because this way we don't have to throw cobwebs on a bonfire, and we get to keep them for later. My lady, we've come to visit you once again. Nothing special. Well, we'll just have a nice meal and go to bed. There we go. And now we get to go and see the ghost of Kendall, who still probably is quite fond of mint cakes. Yeah, I know, too easy. There's a lot of work to do here, and it will take us plenty of time. We don't need to be doing it now. I mean, look at the place, it's a wreck. And yes, completing the repairs would give us experience points and advance us towards the next level, but I'm going to try and do it by other means. Because I'd like the repairs here to be more of a gradual thing. Also, look at that. It's now 23 out of 30 health. Well, basically the tooltip hasn't changed, but the hidden amount that it was giving, which was significantly more, is... yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20. But it's not. It's 5, 10... 5, 15, 25, 45, essentially, right? As opposed to the, yeah, you know. Here we go. Might as well get our hammer ready and get some two-handed weapon practice in, as there are likely to be some skeletons between us and the shrine. Unless I've dealt with them recently, which it would appear, in at least one case, I have not. There we go. You alright there, little podder? Of course you are. Yeah. Let's go crush some skulls, pulverize some bones. We have a mighty mallet and we're not afraid to use it. Hammer Girl is here. Killing skeletons every day, even though they're already dead. Like the skeleton description in Bloodborne, which is spelt like Bournemouth, even though it's nothing to do with Bournemouth. Right. Now, let's pick some plants around here, because we can. And because we may or may not have what the shrine needs. But the prevalence of these plants means that they may be required. Now then, I've talked to Berg. He asked me to plead for his life, or it looks like you didn't tell me the whole truth about how you died.
That's right, I didn't. When I became Lance Corporal, they got all pissy about it, said I didn't deserve it, even though we'd all been serving together for years. They were breathing down my neck, knowing one of them would be next to get it. They were plotting and giving me dirty looks. Each day was worse than the last. Once we were on a patrol near Grubwood, and they left me alone. They wanted me to die like a dog, wanted me to believe they got lost. Next time was even worse. I was on the night watch, and I saw a murder of crows. They were sitting nearby, staring at me. I'm sure one of those bastards put some kind of curse on me. Went to a druid to ask for one.
Sounds like they were all paranoid. Go on.
So I thought to myself, it's either me or them. I made a deal with Berg. I told him I'll make him my right hand, and we get rid of Tagan and Feeble. At the place of the ambush, we were supposed to meet a few bandits who wanted to kidnap some people. It didn't sit all that well with me, because why would they need two keepers? But I brushed it off, and I just went with it. Then, when push came to shove, Berg cracked and Tagan turned the bandits against me. There was so much going on that those sons of bitches stopped caring about our deal. They killed me for the fun of it.
You started it, and you suffered the consequences of your terrible choices.
You're a wise fella now. Screw what Finley and Tagan did. They were cowards. It's about Berg. Oaths are binding. Yet he betrayed me. Me!
You were agreeing to betray the others. You used Berg's friendship to appease your own delusions. Now you want to use Berg to drown yourself out?
It's just words. A trick for the living. Ain't for me. You can't change what happened. So you can't change my nature. Old wounds don't leave scars on the dead. They fester.
The source of your anguish is what you felt back then and what you feel now. It's on you alone, not Berg or anyone else.
Cut it off. Cut it off, I said.
I think he means cut it out. You know it. Just admit it.
I can't listen to this crap. You and Berg, you win. Damn you bastards. I'm out of here.
Well, that's not an angle I've taken before. Previously I've persuaded him to forgive Berg and stop haunting him, but it seems he's decided anyway. Let's interact with the shrine and make an offering to the All-Mother. Raspberries, mandrake, and... I didn't quite see that, but it would appear we have a third amulet of the All-Mother's Mercy. So now that we have 3, we need to take them to the temple, which we're not going to gain entrance to anytime soon. I see Redcap between the trees. Let's go and administer the old steel mace. Easy there, little Potter. I saw you coming up there on the right. You didn't need to go chirping in, quirking in like that. Right. I'm sure we can put all this copper to good use somewhere. Right. Now. Oh, hello. Don't worry, I see you down there, but more importantly, I see you up here.
Stay focused. Your money or your love? This is what hurts. Your money or your life?
Right.
You're in for a world of hurt! Your gold belongs
Careful,
to
little
us.
friend. Getting dangerous. Here we go. Oh, you're down there. Okay, well, we'll come get you too, don't worry.
This is my lucky day.
There we go. Got him. Right. We definitely need to work on those healing amounts. And now that we're overburdened and still approaching the next level slowly, we want to be careful around this area as well. You notice I'm not sneaking yet. I'm in heavy armor. I'm just going to presume that that's very noisy, and that as such, sneaking about is not going to be something I can particularly engage in.
Ha! That's all you've got. Take that, fool! You'll regret this. Your road is here.
Got him. There we go. Okay. Don't worry, I'm coming. A little bit of a drop down, but mate, the guy ropes of your tent are falling badly.
Short working. We'll make short working.
There we go. And then I might as well try over here as well. Just see who's left. Oh. Then I think, what, drop down and up and over? Up and over might work. I see you, and I could do with the loss of a copper arrow, to be honest. Do it.
You're out of your depth.
Go on. Well, that was a number of parry attempts. Not particularly sure any of them succeeded. But hey, I tried. You gonna come fight me now? And you and your spear-wielding friend.
This is going to hurt.
Now we close.
I will be your downfall.
We'll see about that.
I see fear in your eyes.
I don't like the fact it's defaulting to the shield push. After we've not been blocking but trying to parry. Must be pressing the buttons at the same time or close enough to each other or something. Right. There we go. Now, by the time we get to Lady Alyssa's, it will probably be late. Almost late enough to stay the night. Or we could head back to the Horns and offload some of his stuff. We are very close to leveling, so if we can get that level along the way, that would be excellent. Which would mean descending by the path behind me, which I am not currently taking. I'm checking, I'm pretty sure I have cleared that area out, so what about over here? I think I am going up and over. Now, actually, there's an alchemy station down here, isn't there? More importantly, there's one over this way. Yep, I see at least one of the brigands has returned. Oh, that's a little rough. Hope I can make it up there. I did. Excellent. So if we head back to the old Broch and refuse to do the job for Orla again, we could go all the way in and use the alchemy station there. Or just... Sorry, I'm being pestered by a fly that got in earlier when the windows were open because it's been rather hot weather. Okay, hammer it is. These wolves don't bite hard enough to get through this armor. We got him. He tried to dodge, but his second attempt was not as effective. However, we know there's a bear in this area. We also know that a bug caused it to be invisible once. And the last thing we want is another invisible bear again. So maybe avoidance is the best policy. Let's just practice our healing magic. I did not take the peppermint because I couldn't see it. I knew it was nearby and within the sort of grabbing area. Can we use that to get up there? I mean, I think we can just climb up there from the inside, right? That beam looks like a good way up. Thank you very much for Cadbury's roses. And here we are. You're right there. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, yeah. You know, if he witnesses all this violence at a young age, I wouldn't like to think what kind of effect that might have on his upbringing. You know, when people say, like, television can be a bad influence on children if it shows too much violence, and games and stories. There's a lot of people who are willing to blame things that might have influenced the children, but not willing to blame the children for being influenced because they're children, right? But then the parents, right, or people who present these things to the children have a duty to do so in an appropriate manner, to explain it, not just gratuitously shove stuff down the kids' throats. There are some films and stories that young children are not fit to handle. I'm not going to give examples. I'm sure you can think of many. And indeed for different reasons. Odd. Doesn't starting to sound like the nighttime music already, or the dusk music, a little early. Must be the location. We have now explored a lot of this area. What have we got left? The Blood Lake, which many players delve into early and regret, which I haven't personally explored myself. Let's open the map, right? So we've got the Blood Lake down here. We've got the Tomb of the Good Druid. We've got whatever is up here, and the Bromar No-Face bounty, so this is pretty dangerous. We got the stuff with the Children of the Crows, and then we got the temple with the with the Dalriada. That's going to be bloody difficult as well. I imagine if we had a more focused build, we'd be a little better at coping with some of the things we've done, but I've done what I've done for a number of reasons. And a lot of the less focused seeming parts of the build are hopefully supporting it. We have the extra health gained from mana, which isn't necessarily a large amount, but I wanted to experiment with it and see how well it would work. And also I wanted to get the healing spell going anyway, see how effective that could be. And we have practicality and perception coming in a supporting manner that is building towards greater support later on, but for now it's just, in the works, as it were. And then we should remember that level increases are very small and subtle, right? They're incremental. The largest increases we see when leveling is regarding item requirements. We could go fight in the Weird Night, and we are so close to leveling. That's probably a good idea, actually. It's probably a really good idea. What sort of time have we got now? Oh, yes. Not long now. I mean, we could start fighting before the Weird Night takes hold, but why bother when the rewards are going to be so much greater? So what are we after? About 30 to 190 more seconds? I think we can do that. Don't mind us, dear. We're just about to lay waste to some villainous scumbags. Then hopefully make some nice healing potions in preparation for some kind of big combat encounters that will be coming up. It's okay. Not long now. could try making some food while we wait. Let's do that. Oh yeah. It's all experience points, right? Okay. Because now we're not trying to save ingredients anymore. We'll make one more. That ought to do it, actually. We can get away without fighting after all. Excellent. Although, if we do want to mark towards level 26, we could make a start now. Provided it's only these weird possessed men and not the weird creatures themselves that we have to face. Right. You know, we have a skill we need to train. There we go. Oh, come face me, mortal. I am Hammer. I am death. I am getting hit, apparently. Hammer Girl strikes again. And then she gets the hell out of here before it starts getting really nasty. There we go. And now I want to set a fire and level out here. Like this. So that I can identify... Oh, one item? Okay. Thought we had a few more than that. Right, let's level up then. So I wanted more spirituality, which will get me even closer to the 7 required for the spell. And then I'm thinking, right, I will put another point into Mana Battery, which should get me another point of health as well. And it did. For our 7-point spirituality, we'll place it in Invigorating Energy, and I don't see many points to, more reason to go above 9. There we go. Might as well rest here now. And head back into the keep, where we shall trade and possibly end the episode, because I haven't been keeping track of time that much, but we've done some stuff. Now, it's a pretty dark and grim story. The tale of Kendall, Berg, Tagdon and Finley. Although I noticed the spelling of Tagdon's name seemed to have changed to Tadgun a lot in some of those conversation lines, but Kendall was definitely saying Tagdon or even Tagan a few times, so I suspect there may have been some changes at some point. That's okay though, we got another quest behind us, and another level under our belt. We should probably attempt to see the captain soon, and see about obtaining a fragment of energy from Excalibur. But I don't want to ruin anything here, you know, break any unfinished business by grabbing that fragment early. I'm aware... Right, so in terms of knowledge, at this point, am I playing blind? Pretty much, actually. I haven't explored the Blood Lake. I haven't explored the Tomb of the Good. I haven't even gone... So up here and here, yeah. In terms of quests, what do I have? Right, so... I see a darkness. This quest I have completed in early access, right? It's tricky, right? And I'm pretty sure I didn't do it the perfect way. The last voyage, haven't gone any further on that, and it looks like I'm going to have to go into the temple to gain access to the cave. Blade and the Shadows in the next area, isn't it? Silk Road, haven't gone any further with that. Spread your wings, yeah. Through these fields of destruction. Baptisms of fire. I witnessed you so afraid, while the battle raged high. Yeah, I first heard that song when I was reading Death's Master by Tanith Lee, and honestly, even with the one reference, I think, to cannons or guns, I still thought it was like a late medieval song. You know, I didn't envisage it as being about the Falklands Islands anyway. Murder on Demand is a looping, there's probably a limit somewhere. Bromar No Face, yeah. Stagfather's Nightmare from Hell, not looking forward to that. Repairs, I have done this before. So, with the exception of I See a Darkness, I'm basically playing blind now. I have heard that at some point Galahad comes into the area and starts killing people with a bunch of soldiers and takes over this keep because someone had a problem trying to find Silent Celia's corpse because Galahad had come in and killed her and all her men. Or they'd killed her first, then Galahad had come in and taken over the place and they had problems trying to find her body. And that we will have to choose allegiance between Sir Galahad and the captain of the keep. And that'll be a sort of climactic thing for the end of Act 1. I'm also aware that the magic button here we couldn't interact with the sword on it, and the other magic button with the sword on it in the Archspire. Also, the tomb in the Drowned Village here that we haven't found on the map yet. In there's a chamber with another button with a sword on it, and they probably all refer to some kind of power we will gain from Excalibur. I'm aware that apparently what's behind the one over here can be obtained quite early on, and I hope it's not by clipping through the walls or jumping over or something weird, but apparently it's very potent early on. I'm aware that the famous knights have tombs scattered throughout the world, and we can gain equipment from their tombs that will be very beneficial in our quest. I'm aware that while we can just about defeat Sir Abagor now, there's apparently a quest to go and kill him later on. So maybe we don't need to. That's about it, really. I've come across a few rumours about Act 2 and Act 3, nothing very concrete. So yeah, pretty much blind from this point on. Which means I might start playing a bit differently. The exploration might be less thorough because I might be going, ooh, what's over there, and missing things. It might be more thorough because I don't want to miss things. I don't know. We'll find out together. Okay, let's sell some stuff. I clicked the sell button. It took a long time. Right. Should maybe experiment with... Well... Why is this not in the stash? I could have sworn I'd put it there. Oh. There we go. Many villains have met their ends at my hands. Nothing special here. Or here. We have a great shedding of weight. It's as if a mighty burden is being lifted from our shoulders. And we'll have to plan what we're going to do next. Ooh, there we go. Should probably sell some of stash stuff. That's probably the best thing to do. Oh, we can make more leather. Okay. Excellent. Let's claim a little bit more money. Can probably go mine some more meteoric iron soon.
Please, state your business. Again? You really like killing, don't you?
Well, they keep attacking me, you see, and they don't give up.
Go chop off some heads.
And unfortunately, when it comes to a certain kind of bully, there's only one language they understand, even if we're reluctant to give it to them. Now, let's make some leather. Ooh, lots of leather. Alright. You know what? A few more thundercall crystals. Yeah. Okay, nice. Throw in a quick shield. Ooh, that is nice. Nice. Ah. It's all crafting experience. And we'll be wanting to make some potions probably in the next episode. And this. There we go. Oh, hello. We don't need all those. Excellent stuff. Right. Well then, I should probably be looking to wrap things up. Now, you'll have noticed that at this point, as our progression is slowing down slightly, we're not making a level an episode anymore. In fact, a little bit less. This is what? Episode 27, 28 now, and we've just hit level 25, so I imagine there will be episodes that come in the future without a level at all, and that's totally fine. I suspect we could probably go speak to the quartermaster now and talk about seeing the captain, and he'd say, yeah, you've done enough. It's all good. Let's just pop that in the stash for now as well. Wow. Okay. And that needs 8 strength. I should probably just stash that, but I'm kind of wanting to see how the stats on it change when we hit strength 7. Also, compared to the so-called Gladius, the Camelot Soldier's Gladius implies we will see upgraded versions of other items as well. Ooh, tempted to go Mace +4. Right, well, I'm going to end this episode here. Right after the autosave, apparently. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'll say goodbye for now, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.